Good evening, and welcome back to Campfire Stories. Pull your chair a little closer to the flames, because the night's gone cold early. Tonight I've got an old one, carried up the river from Quebec by the first families who settled these ridges. This one is fiction, mostly. It's the tale of the Loup-Garou.
The Loup-Garou? That's a fancy French way of saying werewolf, isn't it?
It is, but it isn't the beast from your picture shows. The Loup-Garou wasn't born under a full moon, Carol. He was made. Made by a man who turned his back on his faith, who skipped his church for 7 long years, or broke his Lent when he thought nobody was watching.
So the punishment for missing church is turning into a wolf. My father would have been enormous.
You laugh, but the old grandmothers didn't. They said the curse came quiet. One winter a man would feel a restlessness in his blood, a hunger the supper table couldn't fill. And come nightfall his back would bend, his teeth would lengthen, and out he'd go into the snow on 4 legs, a great dark beast with 2 eyes glowing like coals in a stove.
Eyes like coals. And nobody ever noticed their neighbor trotting off into the trees every night.
That was the terrible part. By daylight he was a man again, sitting in his own kitchen, remembering everything. He couldn't tell a living soul what he'd become. And there was only one way to free him.
Let me guess. A silver bullet and a very brave priest.
No silver, no gun. You had to draw a single drop of his blood. Just one. A cut on the paw, a nick on the hide, and the curse would break, and the beast would fall away and leave a weeping man in the snow, thanking you.
That doesn't sound so bad. 1 drop and you've saved a soul.
Ah, but here's the catch, and it's a cruel one. The one who saved him could never, ever speak of it. Never say whose blood he'd spilled, never name the man he'd freed. Because the moment he did, the curse would leave that soul and come looking for a new one.
So you save your neighbor, and then you have to keep his werewolf secret for the rest of your life. Small towns must have loved that.
Now, there's a road out past the ridge. You know the one. Runs down toward the cedar swamp where the pavement gives up and turns to gravel. My great-grandfather used to walk it home from the mill, and he'd walk it fast. He said one January he heard something pacing him in the bush, matching him step for step, breathing where no breath should be.
It was a deer, Marty. It's always a deer.
A deer doesn't stop when you stop. A deer doesn't wait at the edge of the trees with 2 low lights hanging in the dark, watching you the whole 1/4 mile to your gate. He got home, barred the door, and in the morning there were tracks in the fresh snow all around the house. Not dog tracks. Bigger. And they walked on 2 feet for the last little stretch to the porch.
You're telling me your great-grandfather never once considered that somebody was pulling a prank on a nervous man walking home in the dark?
He considered it. Right up until the winter-old Thibault down the road took sick and stopped coming to Mass for 7 years exactly. And then Thibault vanished one snowy night, and a man my great-grandfather never named came knocking at dawn, soaked to the knees with a strange fresh cut on the back of his hand, and cried at the kitchen table and would not say why.
And of course your great-grandfather asked him.
He didn't. He knew better than to ask. Because to know the name Carol is to carry the risk of speaking it. And the curse is always listening for a new road to walk.
Well, it's a good yarn. I'll give you that.
It's more than a yarn. Because that road's still out there, and the swamp's still dark, and every so often on a still winter night the folks near the ridge say they see 2 lowlights out past the tree line holding still, waiting. So if you ever walk that gravel home after dark, and you feel something keeping pace with you in the cedars, do the kind thing.
The kind thing being what, exactly?
Draw 1 drop of blood. And then whatever you do, don't tell a soul who it was. Good night, Carol.
Good night, Marty. And if I catch you skipping church 7 Sundays in a row, I'm hiding the good kitchen knives.